Hello there folks, me RJB from RJB TV, and this is gonna be part number 2 with Rabbit and 458. We've had one game so far, and Rabbit kind of threw out some reverse cards in a game that happened before this one, and 458 just could not keep up with all the trickery. Although it wasn't quite trickery, it was just Rabbit playing a pretty damn solid game, very smart game. Rabbit played a very smart game. He knew his limits very, very well, and he played exactly on the line of too much and too little. Exactly right in the middle. Something that I've oftentimes only seen Rabbit able to do. Only something I've seen him being able to do. I mean, I've seen some other players do it pretty well as well, but Rabbit just has something about him where he plays so damn smart. Or he is always min-maxing the situation and somehow making it out alive. And oftentimes coming out on top of the situation. There's just something about his play where he seems to know, due to experience or just due to being smart, exactly what he has to do, how he can do it, and how he can do it with the least possible. By just being pretty damn smart. So here it goes for double hatchery. He's on the Zerg, red Zerg on the bottom right of the map. We have 458 on the top left of the map. It's a cross map situation, and usually that means that the Zerg can get away with more risky things than if the Protoss was a little bit closer to the Zerg player. So the Zerg player here has a lot of room to kind of do as they please. And he's going for a triple hatchery? Oh my god, this guy is absolutely insane. Only Rabbit would think that he can get away with a triple hatchery build order. Literally nobody else in the entire world would try to do this against 458. But Rabbit is the kind of player to try and do this and see if he can get away with it by cutting some corners here and there to get some advantages out of this situation. Rabbit is always testing the limit with his build orders. Always trying to get an advantage by basically risking it all on a risky move like this. It's a different kind of risk than I see other players take. Rabbit tries to take risks with his build orders. Other players try to take risks with their movements and their aggression. So it's a very unique playstyle. Very unique playstyle. I really am wondering, how is he going to play from this point onwards? He is very lucky though. He's very, very lucky that 458 is all the way across the map. Because he would probably already have been scouted by 458 if he had not been this far away. If he had been right next to him, he would have been scouted. And he would be under attack already. And he has no sunkens at all. He's going to make Zerglings to defend himself. So he's going to rely on Zerglings to defend himself against the aggression. A probe there finds his base, and 458 is going to scout and see 5 hatcheries, no sunkens. And he is going to be scratching his head like, Rabbit, how the hell did you decide to play this risky and expect to get away with it? And you know what? He is getting away with it. He is getting away with it. He's now going for a very late choke hatcher. I've literally never seen a single player at this level try this against someone of 458's level. It's absolutely insane. Now 458 here is reading this as a signal to go for more gateways because he's probably assuming there is not going to be a choke here for Rabbit because he did not see the hatchery there in the front. He doesn't really know that he's going for a hatchery in the choke to go for a sunken defense here at his choke. That's the plan. And he's using his Zerglings to keep the Zealots away from that choke point. He's trying to run by and maybe get some probe kills there in the back. We have double cannon in the back. You have a Citadel of Doom getting speed, getting level 1 attack. Gonna jump on top of the cannons. No, he turns around, does not. Oh, goes for the gateway. There's so many Zealots at the moment right here that he's realistically not gonna kill anything. All he wants to do is buy time for his hatchery and the Sunkens to become, to finish. To have a choke, have a wall in the front to keep the Zealots out. That's his goal. Buying time. He already has 23 drones, so he's been droning up quite well. He's going to send some drones over to the choke to build the Sunkens. And 458 is still occupied killing the Zergling, so he's buying so much time. So this is how Rabbit is doing it. Buying himself time with Zerglings, being extremely annoying to try and buy time for this. Is it gonna work? Is he gonna get away with murder? This is essentially trying to get away with murder in plain sight. Zealots are coming across the map. Still, those Zerglings are buying some more time. The Zerglings have really done their job. We got more Zerglings coming up in the front. He's got an Evo Chamber there in the front and another Evo Chamber there on the top side to create a complete full wall. And 458 is not gonna like this because he runs into this and then sees like, oh crap, he has a full choke. And I was going for mass gateways. And guess what? Mass gateways is kind of bad against a sunken wall like this. Because against this specifically, you want to get drops. You want to get shuttles, reavers on the middle, pushing onto the choke with reavers, with and drops on the side at the same time. That's what you want to do. You don't want to go gateways, because your Zealots and Dragoons simply cannot break through this. They simply cannot break through this. So while Rabbit has a pretty much perfect defense against 458's mass gateway strategy, he's going for a very fast Queen's Nest. He doesn't even have a Hydralisk Den yet. It's, oh wait, this is the Hydralisk Den there in the back. This is the Queen's Nest in the front. He's getting the Queen's Nest in the front because he probably does not need the Queen's Nest after he gets the Hive. Like, almost nobody ever uses the Queen's Nest as Zerg against Protoss, unless they want to get Ensnare to catch the shell drops and slow them down, to take them down a little bit easier with Hydralisk or Mulisk or whatever else. But usually people do not use the Queen's Nest for anything else but getting the Hive. So Rabbit is really getting away with something unbelievable here. Still has no units, 7 minutes into the game. Yeah, he has Zerglings, but they don't count. It's kind of a miracle that his plan worked out as intended. The 458 is a level 1 attack. He has a huge army, 135 supply. We are on 50 drones for Rabbit. A very tight configuration of Sunkens in the front. Going to use his Dragoons to take down the structures in the front. Going to lose the attack upgrade there on the Evo Chamber. That's going to hurt. And very tight, narrow space there. He might actually have just enough to kill a couple Sunkens. He got some Hydralisks there behind the Sunkens trying to help out by killing the Zealots in the front. Yeah, I think he's going to hold this. I think he's going to hold this for sure. More Sunkens going up there behind the frontal line. He's actually killing a lot more Sunkens than I thought, and more units coming across the map. He might actually... I don't think he's going to break through, though. I don't think he's going to break through, but he's doing an awful lot of damage because he has a level 1 attack and speed there on the Zealots. Got shields on the way as well, and everything eventually does die. The Zealots are dead and gone, so are the Dragoons. Another Evo Chamber in the front to build another wall. I think that was not worth it for 458. I think that was pretty much an amazing defense for Rabbit that plays right into his hands. This is exactly what he wanted. Exactly what Rabbit wanted. He wanted for 458 to waste more time on getting more gateways and getting more gateway units, because that gives him more time to get proper defenses up against shuttle drops, reavers, get his Hive Tech, which is finished, got a Spire on the way. This game is going as well as it can possibly go for Rabbit. This is like a wet dream. This is a fantasy dream where everything goes perfectly right for the Zerg, exactly as planned. This is very, very rare to see. You almost never ever see a game play out as perfectly for the Zerg as it is doing right here. So finally we got 5 robots there coming up on the middle. We have no robots back at home. Technology are coming up at the middle, getting an observatory, getting a Temple's Archive, getting a support bay as well. Got 2 forges for upgrades. We have 673 probes at the moment. We have very little protection for the Nexus in the back. It's going to probably get a little bit more. But I suspect that Rabbit is going to go straight into Guardians. And that is going to be a dirty, dirty unpleasant surprise for 458, who doesn't really have anything to properly fight against Guardians. Rabbit has really managed to accelerate at hyper speed into Hive technology and a Greater Spire. This is something that you almost never ever see. That's 6 hatcheries on the bottom, another 5 here on the top, one in the front. He's got 12 hatcheries already, only 10 minutes in, and 81 drones. He's basically untouched. Like, 458 has tried to do damage here in the front, it hasn't really done much. And Rabbit has been allowed to grow massive. He's getting his upgrades as well. Mules are in the sky, gonna... I was gonna hatch. I thought he was gonna build spores here, but he's not gonna build any spores at all. Does he have... Oh, Lurker aspect just finished. He might build some Lurkers here in the back to protect himself against drops. Mules are flying across the map. They're gonna fly into a pylon though, so he will... Oh, he's gonna kill the probe. Reavers in the front pushing. Now this is a pretty big army from 458 here with level 1 shield, level 1 attack. And we have a couple more upgrades there on the way. Level 1 armor, level 2 shield. Interesting, he's not getting level 2 attack. Kind of puzzling to me, because shield upgrade is not that awesome. Attack and armor are super awesome. The shield upgrade is generally just not as good as the other two. Just pushing forward, gonna slowly take down the Sunkens. He's struggling with the Reavers though. The Reavers are kind of walking into Sunken range. The Dragoons in the back there though are helping out, keeping the Reavers alive for as long as he can, but the Mutas do win the fight in the end, but almost all of them went down, only 5 still alive. Got a couple more there in the back, getting another 5 hatcheries. Rabbit is just ignoring backside defense completely and just speed running into massive army and economy. This is maybe the fastest you will ever see a Zerg in a 1v1 at this level get to max out supply and Guardian technology. This is a freak series of events, but he's breaking through. He's actually breaking through. This might be pretty close. The Guardians are still morphing. A lot of Guardians are morphing. Most of them are finishing up. All the Sunkens have gone down. Dragoons are coming in to fight against the Guardians, but the Guardians are getting a pretty good surround on the Dragoons. The Dragoons are pretty damn fucking strong. Zealots are in the base. Is Rabbit going to die to playing this too risky? Oh wait, Matt. Okay, he has a massive army. He's got so much production going on. 89 drones, almost 20 hatcheries. Actually, I think it's about 17. But anyway, 17 hatcheries, 12 minutes in. He's maxed out supply. He's got upgrades as well. He's already moved into the middle. 458 literally has nothing to protect himself from this attack. He's got nothing that can fight back. Templars going forward. Do the Templars of Storm? Yes, they do. Guardians are very clumped up, close together. He's going to split them up, going to try to snipe the Guardians. Dodges the Storm, mostly. Needs one more Storm there on the Guardians to take them down, but the Hiders are on the scene. Zergers are spawning as well. I think 458 is just going to get run over. 458 is getting completely out-muscled by Rabbit, doing an absolutely crazy build order. Where he went for 4 hatcheries, 5 hatcheries, before he made a single sunken. Correction, 6 hatcheries before a single sunken. He cheated the game by just going for the hardest, riskiest play I've ever seen in my life. 6 hatcheries before a sunken, that's unheard of, and he made it work because 458 misinterpreted what Rabbit was doing. He thought Rabbit was not gonna go for a choke, and when he arrived in the choke, there was a choke. And his gateway strategy completely failed because gateway strategy against a choke is just absolutely terrible. It is what the choke build order was designed for. Maximizing defensive potential against a gateway army. This is ridiculous. So 458 misread the situation, and he's getting overpowered by late game Zerg production. Only 14 minutes in. He's got upgrades as well on the highlights. I think they're on 1-1, Skies and 0-0. Got the ground there for 458 on 1-2-1. 2 shield. I don't know why he got shield first. It makes no sense at all. You always get armor, armor, or weapon, weapon, armor, armor, and then shields. Anyway, bottom line, 458 is just dying. Rabbit made it look extremely easy. And let me just spell it out to you. Zerg against Protoss is never as easy as this game. This game is like a freak accident. that you'll maybe never ever see again. And I've never ever seen anyone do it like this. Not against this level of Protoss. This is like, I've been saying it the entire game through, but nobody in their right mind would go for 6 hatcheries before a sunken and expect not to die in the early game or the mid game. The beauty of Rabbit's plan was, basically, if 458 goes for a Nexus first, I believe I can go for 6 hatcheries and distract him with Zerglings dancing around in his base. That's his line of thought. It's very simple. Oh, he has no units, I can get more hatcheries. He has no units, you know what? I'm gonna make Zerglings and force him to defend and stay back at home so that I can get away with the greediest, riskiest opening ever. And it worked. Because it was a cross-map spawn. Any other spawn, it probably would not have worked. But because it was a cross-map spawn, there was so much traveling time for 458, the scouting time was so long before he found Rabbit that Rabbit was able to pull it off. So Rabbit gambled. He gambled so extremely hard, and he made it work. Let me just quickly switch over to scene before I forget that. I'm kind of glad that I didn't forget. Because imagine if I had been casting and I found out that we still had the intermission, transition screen up on the front. That would have been embarrassing. It would have been terrible. So Rabbit here is probably gonna go for a factory build order. This is something he likes to do from time to time. He likes switching things up. He almost never ever does the exact same build order. He tends to switch things up a whole lot to keep the opponent guessing on what his next move is going to be. Last game is a perfect example. I've watched a lot of Rabbit games, and I've never seen Rabbit go for 6 hatchery before it's sunken. It's crazy, but you never know what he's going to do. Because kind of like Gensei, he has a lot of build orders up his sleeve, but Gensei is different. Gensei is extremely aggressive. Because his multitasking and his macro are just on another level, professional level. Rabbit is different. Rabbit, you never know what he's going to do because his build orders are so optimized for maximum efficiency and risk. He takes risks. You never know what risk he's going to take. You never know where he's going to cut a corner. You never know where he's going to get an advantage. You never know where he's going to save money and make some money. You never ever know. In that sense, he is one of the most dangerous players. Because you might be thinking you're preparing for option A, but in fact you're getting option B, or C, maybe D or E. You never know. And that's why I like to watch these players with unique build orders that nobody else seems to be able to make work. Because he just finds a way. He just finds a way. So we got a choke in the front, Marines running across the map. He hasn't quite found this yet, but he will run into the cannon and lose the Marine and get tipped off. Oh, he turns it around just on time. Finds the probe there in the front, gonna have to kill that one, because it can build some cannons right here with the support from some gateway units. So 458 there sees the choke, and he's seen this before, so now he knows that Rabbit is going for a factory build order, and he's going for the greediest factory build order ever. he's doing it again. He's doing it again. Factory, command center, startboard, startboard. This is another one of those absolutely crazy build orders that nobody else ever tries, because everyone thinks this is too stupid, too dumb, too weird to make work. But Rabbit is like, he sees it as a challenge. He sees it as a challenge because he believes he can make it work. He will try to make it work. He will fail a couple times and then succeed another time, like a third time, maybe the second time, maybe even the first time. I do not know how often Rabbit has done this build order where he goes for choke, gas, factory, port, probably for an extremely fast tank drop. Though he's gonna have to put this tank in the front because the risk he's taking right now does expose him to a Dragoon push over the front. So So siege mode almost finished up. He's gonna have to get that finished up pretty damn soon. As the Dragoons come up, show up, and are ready to attack. Marines behind the wall will get targeted down, but they're just out of range because we don't have Dragoon range yet. Dragoon range is still on the way. Tank sieges up. He hears the siege mode sieging up and turns around. So Rabbit manages to secure the front just on time, right before Dragoon range finishes. This really is a highly optimized build order where Rabbit is functioning on knowledge. He knows that the possible timing for Protoss to get their Dragoon range when they go for a Nexus first is right around 4 minutes and 40 seconds. So as long as he can get his tank and his siege mode up at the choke before 4 minutes 40 seconds, he knows he will be safe. And guess what? He is in fact safe. These Dragoons can maybe break through, but it is unlikely. He's sending more units here across the map. He's getting a sizzle of doom there back at home. He has no robos yet. So yet again, we are getting a gateway build order here from 458. Goes for the attack, kills the supply depot. Small little mistake there by Rabbit. Dragoons are getting in there, focusing on the tanks. Tanks do go down, but the Dragoons take a lot of damage. Yeah, the Dragoons will not win this fight. Like, the Marines can finish them off. They can finish them off, right? Ooh. He's microwing, he's doing the best he can to stay away from the Marines. Marines can take down those Dragoons because one is low HP, and one is low HP. One is out there coming from the front. He builds another supply depot to keep that Zealot out. He's going for the SCV kills. They're on the Dragoons. Dragoons move to the front there to try and kill this front section. He's gonna have to kill the supply depot, kills the SCV on the bunker, but everything dies before he can really make the damage be significant. Now it all comes down to the Wraiths. It's one Dragoon. Wraiths don't really care about that one Dragoon. The Zealots, though, are a small problem, but he builds another wall behind the other wall that just died, and once again keeps the Zealots out. Rabbit is playing this to perfection. 458 is doing his best to break through, and he is breaking through. The damage that he's doing is just not enough. It's just not enough. Rabbit is getting away with murder yet again. He's getting away with being extremely greedy for the second time. So more Dragoons are in the front. We got more gateways on the way. He's going for full-on gateway man playstyle. 458 is under the impression that he can outproduce Rabbit. And Rabbit is going to try to go for a small little tank drop attempt to try and trick 458, but not going to work. We got a lot of cannons there. Dragoons are going to snipe down the... 17 HP, one shot. One single shot and would have died. So yeah, 458 has enough protection against tank drops because he knows, he saw the raids, he knows there's a starport, he saw the early factory play, he knows a tank drop is a possibility that Rabbit had. So he can end up well on time to prevent him from losing probes, because if he loses probes, it's game over. You just cannot lose probes in the situation. It would be a game over. So we still have no robos. No robos. He's going for level 1 shield again. Why the hell are you getting shield upgrade? Shield upgrade is not that good. It's not that good. The shield only protects the 60 health there and the 80 health here. It's not that good. Shields also take full damage from everything that attacks the shield. A lot of tanks in the front. Oh, so many tanks. So many barracks. The barracks in the... What? Oh, I see what he's trying to do. He's going to hover the barracks on top of the supply depot and make it impossible to target fire the supply depot, to make this a wall that is unkillable, unbreakable, because you simply cannot click on the supply depots. I like this. It's expensive, but I like this. I like this a lot. Rabbit is just playing smart. Is this cost efficient? I don't think so. But it is... Look at this, he's even flying a barracks on top of his barracks to make it impossible, well, almost impossible, to click on the barracks below the barracks. This is beautiful play. This is extremely smart play. So we have 458 going for fast carriers here, because 458 is realizing that Because he didn't go for robotics, drops, and shuttles and whatever else, he has missed the opportunity to now go for shuttle drops. At least that's what he believes. He believes it's too late to go for shuttle drops. And I disagree. 458 probably thinks that Rabbit had his second or third command center up much earlier than he in fact did. This third command center only finished like 50 seconds ago. It's not been operational for a very long time. He only has 56 SUVs. 458 is 68, but 458 is probably assuming that Rabbit went for a third command center at the same time as he got his second one. He's probably assuming that Rabbit is much richer than he actually is. That is why he's skipping out on drops for now and going straight into carriers and Corsairs. The Corsairs are awesome against raids. So he's gonna delay the fleet beacon is coming up right now. He's going to delay the carriers by quite a little bit before getting the actual carriers. So he's gonna use the Corsairs first to try and hunt down the raids. And maybe make Rabbit think that he's going all in on a drop strategy, which he isn't. He's not going all on a drop strategy, going all in on carriers. So this game is quite interesting because there's a lot of assumptions being made by both players. Rabbit keeps scouting the sides looking for shuttle drops to try and snipe them out of the sky before they arrive in his base because he did not build any turrets on these sides. He's only just now starting turrets on the top side. He doesn't even have a scan. Look at this, he does not even have a scan. So he doesn't even have any information. Zero information about what 458 is doing. Rabbit is really the greediest player in the entire world playing like this. He was playing on zero information. It's absolutely insane how Rabbit is playing this. There's actually a small little opening right there. But yeah, you can see he's trying to break through. He just can't. The Zealots can walk through though, but the Dragoons behind that are having trouble. The Zealots getting through is actually kind of problematic. This is actually kind of problematic. This is actually terrible for Rabbit. That did not go as well as I thought. Looks like did he break the supply depot? He broke the supply depot underneath the barracks, so it looks really cool. I just guess it didn't work out. I guess somehow he was able to target fire on the supply depot. Somehow he was able to kill the supply depot. It's actually not that difficult to select. Look at this. Not that difficult to select it. So I guess that's what happened. You can still click on it. It takes a little bit of effort, but it's not that difficult. So it looks really cool. And at first hand, it looks really smart. It just doesn't work as well as you would have hoped. But he survives the attack. It was very close because he lost like 16 tanks here in the choke point. He lost like 16 tanks. 458 almost broke through. I think if 458 had another wave of Zealots ready to go and ready to attack, he would maybe have just broken through and maybe even killed him. The issue was that he was already making his carriers as he was losing his Zealots and Dragoons, so he missed the opportunity to make another wave of Zealots to go for his second attack. So we're going to clear out the skies. Raids coming in to take down the Corsairs, scans, sees no observers, going to take down the probe first, loses the cloak on the raid, so he has to turn around and fly away for now, but then the Corsairs coming in, and the Valkyries come in to take care of the Corsairs. Corsairs make their escape back to the middle. Wave of Zealots waiting in the front to run through. This time around there is... okay, it's wide open. It's wide open. Supply the barracks below the barracks died. So he just walks in and kills a bunch of tanks. But it doesn't really matter that much because 458 no longer has the ground army to go for a follow-up attack. From here on out, it's going to be all carriers and Corsairs. So the Zealots dying there was just to clean out supply space. Also scans coming down. And he scans the sides. So he doesn't scan the middle or 458's base. Like, he hasn't really seen much of that base. He doesn't even know about this here on the top. He just doesn't know. He doesn't really know what 458 is doing. But I think he can smell that carriers are on the way. Otherwise, we wouldn't be seeing so many Corsairs. He knows carriers are on the way. he has to know. He has to know. The Corsairs kind of give away the fact that carriers are coming. So we have not seen a single drop yet. No drops at all so far. The 4 of 8, they're coming in over the side. He's pulling mass cannons to try and limit the playing map for Rabbit. He's trying to limit how much room Rabbit has on the map. Rabbit only has 67 SCVs, not a lot. He puts a lot of his tanks in the back because he's expecting drops to come in alongside the carriers. And Rabbit 4 of 8 is making some high Templars, so we might see some drops coming up later on. There are just no shuttles on the map just yet. Also, we do not have observers here. Oh wait, there's one observer. There's another observer there. So he does have some observers, just not a lot of them. We also no longer have raids, so does he really need the observers? Not at the moment. Not at the moment. So he attacks over the top side, going to try to fly right into the base and go straight for the backside attack. But the Valkyries are there to stop the carriers. The carriers are taking a lot of damage. The carriers are not going to survive and take down that command center, although he's getting on top of it. Taking lots of damage. What is going to die first, the command center or the carriers? He's repairing it. He's going to keep... It's going to stay alive. It's going to stay alive. Carrier's dying a little bit too fast, and that was... Not sure if it was worth the attempt. I don't even think that 4 of 8 should have tried to go for that, because he saw how many Valkyries there were in the base. And when you see that many Valkyries, you should kind of just pull back and retreat. So a very questionable move. So these are protected by cannons. We have 9 Stargates. We have 14 gateways. Got a proxy base going up there on the side. Some cannons in the middle. Only 4 carriers on the middle fighting against the Alliance and the Valkyries. Great storms. Corsairs pushing the Valkyries away. Very good strategy. The Corsairs are to protect against the anti-air, to allow the carriers some room to attack without taking dangerous amounts of damage. But they are pretty badly damaged already. 1, 2, 2 there on the air. For Rabbit we have 1, 1. Every single upgrade finishing up within a couple seconds, so that's number 2 for attack. Plating level 1 is finished up. Well, it's getting level 2 at the moment. Tanks are on 2, 2 as well. I'm going to try to take this down there on the side. He has to try and stop these cannons, because behind those cannons we might soon see shield batteries. We don't see them yet. We might soon see them. But so far, 4 of 8's 4 of 8 has managed to keep Rabbit from really entering and counterattacking. It's really been a game of turtling up from Rabbit and 4 of 8 trying to break through over the sides of the front. We have not seen a single shuttle drop yet. I really do hope that he's going to go for a shuttle drop, because you can just see that even Rabbit is expecting shuttle drops from 458. And 458 is maybe one of the best shuttle drop players in the world, and it's always a bit weird to me when he does not go for shuttle drops. It always feels a bit weird to me. There's an Arbiter Tribunal there on the top corner. He's going to go for Arbiters very soon. And yeah, no robos. Like, he has, what, 1 robo. He hasn't used a robo for anything but some observers. And that is why Rabbit is now feeling at peace. He can go and push into the middle of the map. He feels he can break into the middle and start his assault. Start to counterattack. Start to gain some ground. Start to make life difficult for 458. And, oh, EMP. Ooh, that's nasty. Ooh, brother. Ooh. Valkyries getting on top of the carriers. Carriers are fighting back nicely, though. The Valkyries are kind of dying quickly. They're within range of cannons, and the Valkyries do die. I don't think a single carrier died, so that's pretty good there for Rabbit. For 458. Managed to push Rabbit back where he came from. More Valkyries on the way there, though. He's got so many Valkyries in the back there, just waiting for their moment to strike. The Corsairs is coming in to try and push back the Valkyries, but there's a slightly disconnected move there from 458. Corsairs far in the front, the carriers not in position to fight back against the Valkyries as the Valkyries fight against the Corsairs. A slight little disconnect between the control there of the carrier group and the Valkyrie group. Observer dies. Hopefully that will not come back to bite him. Got to drop there on the bottom, waiting to go in as the carriers distract the Valkyries. Like, he's going over the front. He's going to draw the attention away from the bottom, force the carriers to go to the Valkyries to go to the top side, and then the drop goes in. But no shuttle speed. Oh, big mistake there from 458. He forgot to get shuttle speed. 458's play is just not coming together as he wants it to. He starts shuttle speed. Usually he gets his shuttle speed at like 6 minutes in. He just forgot to get shuttle speed. And I think if he had shuttle speed, the shuttle drop would have arrived at the SCVs. Would it have done damage? I don't know. I cannot tell you. There's quite a numerous amount of tanks in the back to defend. So we got two groups of Valkyries going in for the strike attack. Oh, Walks flies into the storm. One carrier goes down. Another one goes, everything dies. Everything dies within the blink of an eye. Is he going to switch over into a gateway army? Nope. Nope. 11 carriers on the way. Still got 3 tanks in the front. He's going to try to take them down with the zealots and slow down the push. Like, it doesn't matter if the carriers die, as long as he can slow down Rabbit's push into the middle. And as we can see, Rabbit is a very slow pusher. Very slow pusher. Taking his time to prepare everything he has to prepare. Does not want to leave himself open to anything. He's playing it safe, playing it calm, playing it a little bit slowly. No risks taken. Even though he plays with maximum risk in the early game, his late game is safety. Safety before anything else. So we got more cannons coming up on the middle of the map. On the sides, no shield batteries yet. If only he just made like 20 shield batteries right here, he could have probably safely hit and run on this right side. Hit and run. Go in, lose the shields on the carriers, retreat, repair the shields, and go right back in. Rabbit now pushing forward with more tanks. He killed a lot of his Valkyries just earlier. Now he has more supply space for tanks. A couple storms coming down to slow him down, but not really working out as planned because there's just too many tanks pushing forward. You just heard a bunch of scans coming down, so let's see what he scans. Scan the side, no shield batteries. Is that a shield battery? Robotics. He's going to try to proxy build his drops from this left side. Scans this section as well, looking to see if there's more proxy bases. Didn't find one. 11 carriers on the middle of the map. We have Valkyries at the back. 11 Valkyries. Kind of damaged though. Like, they're kind of damaged. Should not be too hard to take down. Rabbit might have made too many tanks right here. Because now the carriers are a bit stronger than the Valkyries. And you can see him queuing up more Valkyries pretty much immediately. Because he knows that I have to let some tanks die and rebuild some Valkyries in order to be properly equipped against the Valkyries. Now, he did get EMP'd there on the carriers. He did get EMP'd. He got EMP'd. Which once again goes to show that, yes, brother, 458, you need some shield batteries. You need some shield batteries. Good control there though in the front. Corsairs coming in to take down the Valkyries. Valkyries gonna die very quickly, so they have to retreat immediately. And they very nicely stack themselves up for the Corsairs, and the Valkyries melt. And this is gonna give 458 a little bit more room to breathe. Because the push has stopped for now. A small little break. Not a long break, like a 15-minute break on the push. Because Rabbit has a lot of production going on. Just sends new tanks into the middle. Goliath's joining in. Ready to once again push against the cannons. You have a big proxy drop base there on the left finished up. You still need some gateways here. Maybe he's going to just go for reaver drops. Arbiter Tribunal is... Arbiters are on the map. Double Tribunal getting his energy finished up for the Arbiters. The carriers are currently on 2-3-3 upgrades. Shield level 3 is on the way. Tanks are on 2-2. Looks like he forgot to get his 3-3 upgrades for his ground. This guy's on 3-3 though, but the ground forgot to get his 3-3. So Arbiter's lying in wait. He's waiting to stasis on the Valkyries. We no longer have any vessels on the map. We have another group of Valkyries in the back waiting. So if this gets stasis, they still will have some units to defend against the carriers. Yeah, no shield batteries. I've said it before in game number 1, and I've said it before like 5 times in this game specifically. You really do need some shield batteries here, brother. Brother, you need some shield batteries. So Rabbit has found out that there's a proxy drop base here on the left. And the carriers cannot move over to kill the tanks, because then the Valkyries would intercept the carriers and the carriers would die. So he has to clear the middle and let this die. Though he has some Zealots coming over, the Zealots will kill these tanks because the Zealots get right in between the tanks. Just perfect situation for the Zealots. Kills it, protects it, saves it. We have... Oh! Okay, that's a huge stasis. That's a massive one. That's a big one. Another Arbiter coming across, ready to stasis, but will it be on time? Will it arrive on time? No, it will not. Carriers die very quickly. Very quickly. Now, you know what? This is actually the perfect opportunity for 458 to switch into a mass gateway army. But he's going back to mass carriers. He's getting 2 Dark Templars and Mind Control for Dark Archon, and to get his own Terran army at some point. Yeah, this would be the perfect chance to go for a ground army. Because we have like 22 Valkyries, which means there's not a lot of tanks on the map. We have 11 on the way, so only got 20 tanks. Like, if he has like 40 Zealots with some High Templars in the mix, he could probably break all the tanks and maybe overpower Rabbit. So the choice to stick to carriers, I don't think it is the right one. But 458 probably knows better than I do. It's just that Rabbit is not really giving him much room to play the game he wants to. Rabbit is kind of in control over everything. Flying back and forth, getting information. Still no shuttle drops there from 458. We had 1 shuttle drop, and then he abandoned the shuttle drops completely. He does have this proxy base, but it hasn't been used yet because he's just focused on killing those tanks and Valkyries on the middle with his army. He keeps losing his carriers over and over again because the Valkyries and EMPs are just too strong for the carriers to deal with. Flies back and forth yet again. He's hunting for carriers, hunting for drops. He's flying all the way around the middle to see if the carriers are spawning. He's looking for the carriers, but he arrives a little bit too late. He scans the map. He's looking. Are there carriers? No. They are still in production, like 3 of them in production, but all the other ones are already safely at the choke. So 8 are safe, 3 more on the way. He scouts this proxy base, another scanner comes down, scans the choke point there, sees the carriers flying back and forth, and attacks them. He attacks them, and loses the shield on 1 of them. Zealots going into the middle. Not enough Zealots, not enough of them. At this point, 458 has to kill some probes. He has to open up some supply space, because he's fighting with 78 probes against 59 SCVs, which means the Terran simply has more supply space for army than 458 does. And also, when you have like 15,000 minerals, you can kill some probes and be perfectly fine for the rest of the game. So he has to kill like 12 probes, even 16 or 20 of them, and he will be fine. He will be completely fine. Valkyries coming in, carriers taking massive damage. The Templar in the back has to storm on the Valks. The Valks go into the cannons, and the Valks are just too tanky. I think though the carriers will win this fight because he's taking way too much damage on his Valkyries now. Way too much damage. But look at how many carriers he killed. Look at how many carriers he killed. There's only Well, 6 left alive. I think he killed 3 or 4 of them. So it was still a pretty good move, but Rabbit is forced to retreat. And he gained a lot of ground in the middle, which 458 is going to try to regain right now. He's going to build as many cannons as he can, as fast as he can. Proxy Robo Base, still no drops. Going to fly over the top side, going to try to kill those turrets. There's no shield batteries yet again. I think that people back in 2019 just did not use shield batteries that much in Protoss against Terran. It became a thing in like 2020. People just didn't use shield batteries that much. Some pretty good storms in the front. Carriers dying on the side yet again, just not achieving anything. And once again, carriers are in production. And we have about, I'd say, 12 Valkyries in the sky, a couple more on the way, switching in more Goliaths this time around. And this time around, the carriers are so far away from finishing that I think Rabbit should be able to push through the middle. I'm just a little bit confused about 458's game plan in this game specifically. He is... Maybe Rabbit is just on top of everything perfectly, making life very difficult for 458, but I think that 458 might not be doing the exact correct strategy here. Maybe he's trying to prove a point that he can win without drops, but I just don't see it happening against Rabbit. I just do not see it happening that Rabbit is going to die to a Protoss that does not use shuttle drops. I just don't see it happening. Once again over the front, Arbiter in the back, going forward, Valkyrie still back at home, now moving across the map, ready to strike. The Arbiter is going to make or break the game. If he can get all the Valkyries stuck in a stasis, he might have just enough to break this ground 4. So that's a lot of Goliaths there, a lot of Goliaths with maxed out upgrades. Ugh. He's got 3-3 now on the ground as well. Goodbye Templar. EMP on the carriers. EMP on the carriers. He's trying to dodge and stay alive. Stays alive there with the vessel. Arbiter in the back. 250 energy. So double stasis on the way. But he has to hit something important. He has to hit those Valkyries. They're staying in the back though. EMP on the Arbiter. Dodges the... Oh, did he get it? Did he get it? No, did not get it. But he did get the carriers though. Arbiter dies before it can shoot its frozen zone. Proxy base, though, is almost finished up. This might become a problem. A couple of Reavers are on the scene. And by saying might, it also might not become a problem. Like, even if it kills the command center, I think Rabbit has this game in the bag. But never call a game too early. Never say before it's over that it's over, because it might not be. Now 458 killed a bunch of probes. He's opened up a lot of supply space. Maybe he killed too many probes, but he has to play this on a smaller economy. He needs more army. He needs more zealots, more carriers, more production. He needs more units to fight back against Rabbit. Carriers are getting attacked. The carrier's taking a lot of damage. He's chasing them down. He knows he can end this once and for all if he takes down the carriers, but he goes a little bit too far. Gonna try again. Repositions. Carriers retreating back to the cannons. Carriers dying. All of them die. Will they die? Yeah. They're gonna die. Carriers die. Ooh. So big drop there on the side. That's his last chance. His last shot at redemption. He's building Dark Templars. There's a vessel in the sky. We've got one carrier alive. We've got a proxy base there on the top side. He has the gate. He's got to make some zealots here. Also, because Rabbit lost a lot of his Valkyries just now, right here on top of this fight in 458's base, he can now safely replace his Valkyries with... Oh no. No. He's trying to kill the shuttles. I think the Corsairs will win this one. Shuttles stay alive. So he scanned the proxy base. He saw the production of shuttles and Reavers. So he knows this is a potential problem. But he just lost the Valkyries, which now means that Rabbit, the 458 now has to go in right now before Valkyries spawn to defend against this. He's got to be fast. So back at home, he's not pushing forward at the moment. He's focusing on the potential drop that's going to be coming in very, very soon. Valkyrie's almost finished up. Almost finished up. He's going to have to be fast. We've got 5 of them. 5 of them. Reaver's going to have to get picked up there by the shuttles. He's going to have to be fast. Got 1 shot. 1 shot at making this. Goes in. Corsairs are staying behind. No, he's going to go in all the way. He's going to go in all the way. He's going to unload on top of the SCV. The SCV is running to safety, though. Going to have to relocate on the chase. Unloads right... Oh, they're empty. Those are empty. Oh, I see. I see. So I thought that was a real drop. It was not. It was just shuttles. Just shuttles. Just to fly in and distract. The real shuttles are still alive here on the top, ready to pick up some Reavers. He hasn't pushed forward yet. Rabbit is playing this very, very safe. Taking no risks. He's balling up a huge army there in the front. The replay might be broken. The replay might be broken. I repeat, it might be broken. Or maybe he's playing this very safe. It's broken. Fuck. Fuck. The replay's broken. Let me just rewind. It is broken. We missed the ending. Why did the replay break at the end? It makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. It makes no sense. Let me just see what happens. Let me just see what happens. The replay really broke all the way in the last 3 minutes. The last 3 minutes, the replay breaks. This makes no sense at all. I had a feeling that something was wrong with the game. So he goes back. We saw this happening. We saw this happening, so he kills everything, retreats. The middle got cleared out. That did not happen before. So he arrives there, going to take down those Corsairs. This is exactly what happened earlier. Is he going to pick everything up? He picks everything up. This is different. This is different from before. This is different. Yeah, he sees it. He makes new Corsairs. Gonna fly right in. Do we have any defenses? Yes, we have Valkyries in between, ready to take them down. Shuttle's already damaged, but he flies into the base, unloads, and he gets taken down by the cannons. SCVs are running the safety there on the top side, and the Reavers get taken down. This is very, very different from what we just saw. Sometimes rewinding the game, it just fixes everything. It makes... I don't even know why it broke. I don't know why it was fixed. I do know that it was fixed. This is how 458 dies. Was banking everything on that one last Reaver drop. He's making another one. But look at this. There's just so many tanks, so many Goliaths. 458 just did not play a beautiful game. Did not play a good game. He really tried a couple different concepts. And I gotta give it to him. He did break through that choke point. And I think he could have won if he didn't make the carriers right after the frontal attack. Because he just killed so many zealots, so many gateways, so many tanks were killed on the attack. He could have maybe, with another round of production of zealots, broken through and killed Rabbit. I really think there was a window of opportunity that he missed because he really wanted to get his carriers so badly that he got his carriers too early. I think if he had one more round of a mass gateway attack, break through the front again, it might have changed the outcome. Let me just rewind real quick to that moment in time where I think he made the mistake. First of all, like right here, look at this, he's breaking through. He breaks through, and now he does one more round of Zealots, I think. I think one more round of Zealots, not sure. Actually, I just passed the moment. Let me rewind a little bit more. Right around here. I think it was about 11 minutes in. We got this. He already did the attack. Am I just not rewinding far enough? Like, I really want to show it yet again, just to show how close he was to breaking through. This fight right here, he goes in with a mass Zealot attack. He already started producing his carriers. Like, that's the thing. He already has some carriers in production. he's already starting the carrier switch. Already has some Corsairs. His army is smaller than it could have been. If 458 here had like 3 shuttles filled with zealots and some high Templars, and if he had gone for this frontal attack, he would have probably broken through. Also, the supply depot died to the tanks. Same for the barracks. The barracks died to the tanks. So look at this. He literally breaks through. He literally breaks through. And we only have 3 machine shops. And another 4 factories without. 3 starports. I think 458. This was the one moment in time in this game where he had victory in his hands, but because he had already decided to go for carriers, he had already decided before the attack he was going to make carriers after the attack. He already started some carriers. He already had some Corsairs. He already committed to carriers. If he had been a little bit more flexible, if he had recognized right here that, hey, wait a second, if I had another wave of gateway units to attack this, I would have won. But he already committed to something else. Sometimes that's all it takes to lose a game. A slight miscalculation, like this. It's only 14 gateways, not a lot of production. If these had been gateways, these are like 8 gateways, he would have had 22 gateways. He would have been able to just send and produce, overpower, mix in some shuttles, load on the front, and win the game. Because Rabbit was just playing it so cheap and minimalistic, that brute force would have probably gotten him the win. So that's game number 3. Rabbit has won 3 in a row. I really hope for 458 that in the next games he can recompose himself and get himself back into that stride that we know him for. That combination of lethality and constant attacks, never some room to breathe, smart play, well controlled, good target selection. If he manages to get back into that form, I think he can still make a comeback here against Rabbit. It's not over yet.